guys, today we are going to be talking about the cell cycle and how cells divide, how they make more copies of each other. So continuing on with our topic from last time. In your notes packet, I am on the back of page 3. So page 4, it looks like this, but it unfortunately is cut off the page number. So this is the page that you are looking for as we go through. So the cell cycle can be broken into two primary parts. The first part being interphase. That's where the cell spends most of its time. And yes, you're going to label that on your same picture on yours. And then mitosis. And mitosis is the part of the cell cycle that the cells go through the process of division. And then once it's done dividing and you end up with two cells, that's called cytokinesis. So cyto, you might remember from when we did cells, just means cell, that prefix. And then kinesis, right here, it's like movement, kinetics is movement. So kind of a way of talking about how we're ending up with two separate cells. So when you are in interphase, the genetic material is in the form of chromatin, and remember that means it's loose inside. The DNA is wrapped around those histone proteins, but it's very loosey-goosey, not very visible. And so what we're going to do in this lower left-hand corner of your page 4 in your notes is add a diagram of what this looks like. So I've already provided for you a circle, and into that circle you're going to draw another circle. And what is that? Yes, you're right, that is the nucleus. And then we're going to add another dark circle inside there, and that's the nucleolus. And remember that DNA is kept as chromatin inside the nucleus. And then the darker circle inside there is the nucleolus. And you might remember that the nucleolus is where ribosomes are actually produced. And ribosomes are involved with making protein. All right, so we're going to break down the three parts of interphase. So the first thing is that once the cell has divided from the previous cycle, it goes through what's called G1. And that's where the cell is growing, it's making more cytoplasm, all that kind of stuff, getting bigger and ready for the next part, which is called the S phase. And the S stands for synthesis. And this is where the DNA replicates itself. And replicates is a fancy word, just means duplicates. So it's making another copy of the DNA because eventually it's going to make two cells. And each cell needs a copy of that DNA. So it's making copies. And then we go into G2, and this is where the cell makes more organelles and all the other cellular material that it's going to need to provide for two cells. This would be a good place to pause in case people get a little bit behind. Okay, so interphase again is G1, S, and G2. And then we start to divide the cell. And the part where the cell is dividing again is called mitosis. And the first part of mitosis is called prophase. Prophase. And there's a circle to the kind of up and a little to the right where we are going to draw what the step of prophase actually looks like. So the very first circle up there is going to be the prophase. And the first thing that happens is that the nuclear membrane begins to break down because we're going to need to divide up all of the genetic material. So when you draw the nucleus, you want to draw it kind of dashed on here. And then underneath where it says prophase, next to the first bullet point, you would write that the nuclear membrane begins to break down. Second phase is chromatin condenses into chromosomes. So now that DNA, like we were talking about last time, gets tightly wrapped around those histones and the chromosomes become visible. And remember that the chromosomes have duplicated during the S phase of interphase. So there's 2 chromatids attached at the centromere. And so you have a chromosome that kind of looks like an X. I love using 2 different colors because it kind of helps you separate that there's 2 different kinds of chromosomes there. One from mom and one from dad. Okay, the last bullet point is we had some organelles that we talked about when we did cells that are called centrioles. And the centrioles are gonna help, you're gonna see, with cell division. And so I kind of like draw them like 2 pieces of penne pasta that are at an angle with each other, kind of forming like a little L or something like that. And they are beginning to separate. They're eventually gonna end up on opposite sides of the cell. But for now, just kind of place them starting to separate from one another. The last thing that happens is the spindle fibers attached to the centrioles begin to appear. So I just drew a few little lines coming off of the centrioles. Okay, this would be a good place to pause if you need to catch up. All right, so the next step on the next circle here is going to be called metaphase. And that prefix meta, oops, and you can't see the whole thing because of the way I have this set up, but I'll move it in a second. It's M-E-T-A phase, metaphase. And metaphase is when the chromosomes line up in the middle. And that prefix meta, M-E-T-A phase, means middle. So, it looks like I put it in there. There you go. Now you can see the metaphase. So we'll go back over here, and where it says meta means middle, the chromosomes line up near the middle, or sometimes people will say near the equator of the cell. All right, so let's draw those X's going across the middle. So there's one, and there's another one, and there's another one, and there's another one. And then we've got the centrioles that line up at opposite ends or opposite poles of the cell. And then the last step is that the spindle fibers attach to the centromeres of each of the chromosomes. So you'll notice as I draw these that I'm going from the centrioles to the middle of each chromosome. And then it's also going to happen on the other side as well. So then on the third dot under metaphase, each chromosome is connected to spindle fiber at its centromere. Okay, so we have prophase, then we have metaphase. The next one is called anaphase. Anaphase. And if you are not ready, maybe pause the video here before moving on. Okay, so in comes anaphase. And now we'll draw anaphase and talk about what anaphase consists of. So anaphase begins to pull, or using the spindle fibers, pull the sister chromatids apart. And at this point, they're forming 2 identical chromosomes. So right now they have twice as many chromosomes as what they need. And that's all we have to draw for that one. And right. So this would be a good place to pause if you need a little bit more time. All right, so the next phase, let's review them. What are they? Prophase, Metaphase, Anaphase. The last phase of mitosis is called Telophase. I'll add that to our cycle here. You can see telophase on there. All right, so now we're going to undo what was done in prophase. We're going to go ahead and start to reform the nucleus around the chromosomes that are in the form of just a line instead of as an X. And we've got our centrioles that are there, but the spindle fibers have disconnected and they'll eventually begin to disappear. The chromosomes begin to spread out into a tangle of chromatin. So towards the end of telophase, we won't even see them anymore, but towards the beginning, you'll actually see them. Now, you'll notice that I did two cells side by side because up to this point, plant and animal cells are really similar to one another, except that plant cells don't have the ability to pinch in. You can almost look to see, oh, it's beginning to look like two cells are formed. But plant cells, remember, have a cell wall, and so they cannot pinch in towards the middle. So they start laying down a new cell wall, and that new cell wall is called a cell plate. On the animal cell, where it begins to pinch, that's called a cleavage furrow. And then here's the plant cell, and that begins to form a cell plate. This is a good place to pause if you need a little bit more time. All right, so now we've got it filled. Prophase, Metaphase, Anaphase, Telophase. And a really good way to remember the order is the kind of following these first letters here. And you can think of it as PMAT. PMAT is Prophase, Metaphase, Anaphase, Telophase. Would you say those to somebody that's near you? Prophase, Metaphase, Anaphase, Telophase. We'll pause for a second. Say those to somebody that's near you so you get them ingrained in your mind. All right, now the other person says it back. All right, the last little part here is cytokinesis, and that's when the cells actually split. And I just noticed I did not leave a box for cytokinesis. Oh no! But I think down right underneath the box for telophase, you can put what cytokinesis stands for. So cytokinesis just completes the process of cell division, and you end up with two identical cells. All right, this would be a good place to pause if you need a few more seconds. So I'm going to skip by some of this. So here's some actual pictures of some cells in each phase. So this first one is in prophase, and how you can tell it's in prophase is that the nucleus is starting to get little gaps in it. You're also beginning to see chromosomes just beginning to form into some lines, and those are some hints as to how you can tell. All right, here's one where you've got the chromosomes in a line right down the middle. And so think about which one meant middle. You're right, that one is metaphase. All right, now we're starting to see them being pulled apart, and there's like this clear area in between the two lines of chromosomes. So that one is anaphase. And here's an actual picture of a plant cell in telophase, and you can see the two nuclei starting to reform. You're beginning to see a cell plate being lined down the middle. All right. I'm going to add on to this one for our next video, and you can see if you can help me identify some of these.